Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. I had a moment of sadness yesterday, and I'd like to reiterate my prayers to the God of Dislikes. And you can join me in praying to the God of Dislikes by leaving a dislike on this video. And don't just leave dislikes, actually scream dislike at your screen. Let's sing along together. This is my prayer jingle. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Now, to give you an idea of how strong this prayer is, I went to Kerrville, Texas, to view a solar eclipse about a year ago, and it was a really cloudy day. And I asked everybody around me to look up at the sky and pray with me. Now, some of these people were praying in other ways, but quite a few of them joined me in a prayer to the God of Dislikes. And I'll never forget the entire crowd going, "The Peter Dislike Show." It really did feel like some kind of a mass. It really did. We all prayed to the sky, praying to the God of Dislikes. And sure enough, totality came, and so the clouds disappeared for just a moment at the beginning of totality. We did miss most of it, but there was a little bit at the beginning. And I was in Taiwan, and you see, in the month leading up to my trip to Taiwan, I had such bad luck networking with anybody. I was teaching at a different school. One of my colleagues caused a lot of drama for me. She kept leading me down false hope. She had a neighbor who had two daughters, adults in their 20s, and she kept saying that I should get to know them, but when the time would come, something would happen. And I don't know what her motivation was, but it caused a lot of drama in my life. It could just be workplace politics. Maybe she was trying to cause me to... The funny thing is that it kind of worked backwards against her, because I was so consumed by all of that. I buried my head in my work. It was kind of weird, the dynamic of what happened last semester. Go back and watch some of those videos. So when I got to Taiwan, I don't know what inspired me to reactivate a dating profile I hadn't used in many years. And I was talking to a girl there, and I wasn't sure if she was going to not show or something like that. And it created a lot of tension for me the last couple of days I was in Taiwan. You can go back and watch those videos as well. And so on the afternoon before I was going to see her, I asked a bunch of my roommates at the hostel to pray with me. Now, some of these people speak very broken English, and for some of these people, the words "the Peter Dislike Show" were literally the first English words they ever spoke, and they still prayed with me. And I show up, and sure enough, long story short, 3 months later, I'm still talking to the girl in Taiwan, and we're talking about potentially meeting up on a vacation together. She's thinking about going to Japan at some point. And so, unfortunately, yesterday I got a moment of sorrow. What had happened was yesterday marked the 5-year anniversary of a big project of mine. I wrote an AI for the game of backgammon, and it ended up being the strongest AI in the world for the game of backgammon. I nicknamed it Corona Gammon. And next month will mark another solemn, if I don't get back to it, will mark another solemn anniversary. Unfortunately, because of my recent return to the dating scene, my games have fallen to the wayside, and so this is sad seeing the anniversaries come back. But on April 1st of 2022, got to remember the current events going on at the time. Putin had just invaded Ukraine. Ukrainian refugees were fleeing to Poland, and as a gesture of support, I wanted to write an AI for the game of Ticket to Ride Poland, and I nicknamed the game E-Polonium, and I was shooting for a release date of July 18, 2023, the 125th anniversary of the discovery of polonium. And long story short, I still don't have a very good. I mean, it's playable. I still don't have a very good version of that game, in large part because of the distractions of the recent years, and just really sad. It's just really sad. It's just really sad. Now, granted, some of that was because of my career pivot. Right, I moved here to Phoenix to take on a job at the Maricopa colleges. But a big part of that is my recent return to the dating scene, and just really sad altogether. And I got to finish that game. The Epolo. I got another release date in mind. The Currys got married on July 26, 1895. So I'm shooting for their 130th wedding anniversary for the release of E Polonium. I hope to release it here on YouTube and play a game against it. Um, but I, uh, I like making light of the of big events like the COVID-19, like the invasion in Ukraine. Uh, Putin had just invaded Ukraine. Now, a few years before that, I had traveled to Poland, and while I was on the beach in Gdansk Bay, I picked up a rock, and I love doing that. Everywhere I travel to, I always pick up a geological sample, and I picked up one in Poland, obviously, Germany, the Netherlands, Canada, Mexico, Japan. I didn't pick up one in China, though, because technically it's illegal, and even I'm afraid of the Chinese government. But I love picking up samples. So I brought the Poland sample. I was teaching at a tutoring center, and we had a fish aquarium with fish in it. I picked up my Poland sample, cleaned it off a little bit. I put it in the aquarium, saying that it was in support of what was going on in Poland. And as you might guess, I have a funny nickname for that rock, right? Polonium, obviously. And it's just my luck that the following week, 2 fish in the tank died. And my coworker joked that maybe the rock actually contained polonium. Although if it did, it wasn't polonium when I picked it up in Poland, because it had been 5 years since the trip, right? It would have been radium, or maybe radon, or lead 210 when I picked it up in the beach, right? And then it became polonium to go kill the fish a few years later, right? This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.